Hi, grade 2. Now it's time for Writer's Workshop. Thank you for those of you who have made revisions or changes to your stories to make them more about a seed moment, just one moment in time. And we're now going to take that moment in time and we're going to work really hard over the next couple of weeks to make that really descriptive and interesting. The first thing that we want to do is learn about dialogue and how it's important. Here's a fun little cartoon that I found, which shows some dialogue. Let me read it to you because it's a lot of fun. No, absolutely not. I already told you no ice cream, and that's final. But Grandma, I didn't ask for any ice cream. Oh, I'm sorry, Nelson. I didn't see you there. I was just talking to myself. So we get to know Grandma, and she must be such a character that she talks to herself and tells herself not to eat ice cream. Do you see how narrative or dialogue can really grab our attention and help us to get to know a character? And that's what we're going to do to our seed stories. So get your language arts notebook, get your personal narrative, and let's get started. The question that we're asking today is, how can authors use dialogue in their writing? Now, just so you know, dialogue is the exact words that a character says. So it's not saying, oh, she told me that the party starts at 8. That's not dialogue. Dialogue is, well, what did she exactly say when she told you the party starts at 8 o'clock? So dialogue is what the person in your story is really, really saying. It's almost like we are there and we're listening to them speak. And here, I'm being funny. Hey, pay attention. So here's a fact. Using dialogue helps readers better understand the story and feel like they were there. They can hear exactly what you heard. To help you understand how dialogue really makes us get to know a character, I've chosen a mentor text called The Babysitter. And I want you to pay attention how the dialogue really makes the story come alive and makes you feel like you're there experiencing the whole situation together with the author. And what I love about dialogue is it gives me a chance to make character voices. Ready? Please follow along as I read. It's called The Babysitter. Are you serious, Mom? I asked, very disappointed. Oh, Sarah, it's only for a couple hours. It's been a long time since your dad and I have gone out and left you home with a babysitter, Mom answered. Fine. Can I please stay up and wait until you and Dad get home? Please, Mom? I begged. I suppose that's fine, Sarah. When the babysitter comes over, you need to be nice and give her a chance. Do you understand? My mom asked. Yes, Mom, I get it, I said as the doorbell rang. All right, Sarah, she's here, called my mom. My mom opened the door, And there was my babysitter. She had long blonde hair with dark purple highlights. She wore a bright pink shirt with jeans and sporty sneakers. She gave me a big smile. Hi, Mrs. Jacobs. I'm Mal. It's nice to meet you. You must be Sarah, she said as she made her way towards me. She shook my hand, and I watched her other hand set down a backpack. What's in there? I asked her, pointing to the purple backpack. Oh, that? Well, I brought some things that I thought you might like to do tonight. Do you like to make slime? I brought some stuff over so we could make it together. Also, I brought over some brownie mix. Your mom said you enjoy baking, said Mal. I looked at my mother as she stood behind Mal. She had a big smile on her face. I could tell my mom liked this babysitter. I was pretty excited about her as well. I've never had a babysitter that brought over things for us to do together. Sounds good to me, I replied. Well, then, shall we walk your parents to the door and wish them a good night? Mal asked. My mom looked at me as she walked to the door. Is everything good? My mom asked me. Yes, Mom. Go have fun. What are you waiting for? I'm ready to make some slime, I told her happily. I saw a huge smile across my mom's face. I was pretty excited to hang out with Mal. Did you notice that the dialogues helped me as a reader be able to show how the character was feeling? Did I read Sarah's voice the same way at the beginning of the story as I did at the end? Listen one more time. Are you serious, Mom? I asked. That was Sarah's voice at the beginning. Yes, Mom. Go have fun. What are you waiting for? I'm ready to go make some slime, I told her happily. That was Sarah's voice at the end. The only reason that I was able to make Sarah's voice come alive is because the author put dialogue into the story. And that's what I would like you to do today. Actually, there are different types of dialogue. We can have a dialogue where there's a tag at the end. The tag is where it tells the audience who's speaking. So here are some examples for how to write dialogue when you tag the end. I like to draw, said Mia. I want to be an artist when I grow up, she exclaimed. Can you draw a dog? I asked. Now, that's if you want to say who's the speaker at the end of what they say. Or another way you can put dialogue into your story is to put the tag at the beginning. You can do it like this. She whispered, "Don't forget to use your inside voices." I asked, "Can you help me find a book about lizards?" She exclaimed, "Of course I can." So it doesn't matter which way you choose. I like to go back and forth. Sometimes I put the tag at the end. Sometimes I put the tag at the beginning so that it never gets boring. Which characters will speak in your story? Now it's time to plan that. So you will need to go to your personal narrative graphic organizers, and I have added a new slide to yours called Dialogue in Our Writing. And remember that I'm telling the story about how Zach got lost on the beach. So I have to think about which characters in my story are going to do the speaking. This is what I came up with. Zach! Zach! I yelled frantically. I thought he was swimming with you guys, I cried. My husband said, look, he left to go see you, so I thought he was with you. Charlene replied, Zach asked where you went, and I told him that you were buying a sarong. I've chosen 4 different times where characters in my story can actually speak, and I've documented the words that they said during this moment in time, and I've written it down here. So I need you to do 2 things. Number 1, think who was there with you at your moment of time in your personal narrative. And then number 2, what kinds of things did they say? Or what kinds of words did you say? And I want you to come up with, try to think of 3 or 4. You can have some with the tag at the end, some with the tag at the beginning, but I don't want all of it the same way. So try to do at least 2 in one column and 1 in the other. But if you can even come up with 4 examples of dialogue that you will put in your story, that is wonderful. I've also put an extra slide in your graphic organizers to help you to know of words that are better than just the words said. Sometimes in a story, if we just keep saying he said, she said, blank, 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 I said, it gets boring. So here are other words that you can read. And if you like those words, like whispered, yelled, agreed, called, cried, replied, if you like some of these words, put them in because they're more interesting than only just saying said, said, said. Okay, grade 2, now it's time for you to go back to your story. Reread your personal narrative story. Add 3 or 4 pieces of dialogue to your story to make it more interesting. Type those in your graphic organizer, which is slide 5, and then click share to share with me. I look forward to your interesting seed stories. Bye, grade 2.